again, everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz. And today we're going to be talking about the Pz.III, the Tier 3 German light tank. This is actually a clan request video, and it's the first request video I've ever done. So, hopefully I can do it some justice. One of the things to know about the Pz.III is that it is actually a real tank. It did exist. Okay, only 12 of them were made, none of them saw combat, and it was experimental. But Wargaming have actually taken the specifications from the real thing. Okay, the real thing doesn't have RNG, but hey. This is a German light tank, and as such, it's got light tank armor. It's got a reasonably strong upper glacis plate and a good gun mantlet. It's not so quick, however. It's not one of the quickest in the game, but it will get you where you need to go and away from danger in pretty good time. It comes with 3 guns. It's got two 2 centimeters, one is a flak gun, and a 3 centimeter MK, which is what I'm using here. All are auto loaders. They dish out reasonable damage for a tier 3, and the reload and the aim time is pretty good, especially for this tier. In fact, armament wise, it's not going to give you too many problems. It's going to pen most things at this tier. And I very rarely take it out with anything other than standard shells. I don't see the point in APCR in this tank, and I certainly don't see the point in HE. The biggest downside that this tank has, in my opinion, is its speed. The armor isn't that bad. You are going to bounce shots, however, you are exposed. Don't get me wrong, most things on the battlefield at tier 3 will be able to pen you. After all, you are a light tank and you have light tank armor, but you also have light tank camo. And as you can see here, the gun is unbelievably accurate, and I've just bounced some shells coming from the other side. The armor is paper thin on this tank, to be fair. Most things, as I said, are going to pen you. That you cannot help. You are a light tank. You're not expected to be heavily armored, simple fact of life. So, you cannot treat this tank like a front line tank. Although, in fairness, I'm pretty much on the front line here. That wasn't my game plan in this game. My game plan was to actually sit there as a second line support. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and I ended up becoming front line. But because I've got some really hard cover behind me, and I've got some light cover with those bushes and trees in front of me, and I've got light tank camo, I'm actually not really in a bad position. Okay, I'm taking fire. Yes, I am. But I'm resetting the camo every now and then. So they don't always see me. I can pop out, I can then pop, then I'm seen, then I take a pop back. And yeah, the DW2 is always going to pen me. He's got great penetration to me. Now I've been seen again. Unfortunately, I forgot to reset my camo there, and now I've reset it again, so they've not seen me. I'm getting behind this cover, and instead of me running up there and YOLOing towards them, I'm waiting for them to come to me, or at least I'm waiting for my team members to come and help us out of this sticky situation. Now, as you can see here, we're tanks up, and we're causing the DW2 and the T-46 some pain. We're taking hit points away from them. This means that even if I get wasted, my team will have less hit points to take from the enemy. But more importantly than that, myself and my team member in the Lux have held these 2 tanks up for the duration of the game, effectively. And they're 2 of their top tanks. I mean, the T-36 is going to try and make a break. He gets wasted for his troubles, but he had nothing else to do. He knew he was in problems. That's why we held them up. We held the line, and by holding the line, we allowed the rest of the team to get involved and to take tanks out, and that is the name of the game. And for our troubles, we get a second class. The irony behind this tank is, because it's a tier 3 light German, everybody thinks it's an easy kill. It is probably one of the most underestimated tier 3s on the battlefield. Now, I'm not saying it's one of the easiest tanks to drive. It's not. It's actually not that simple because of its armor and the inability to run away quickly. But the weapon is first class. You cannot fault this gun. I'm sorry, but you can't. I mean, the aim time is just brilliant. The accuracy is amazing for an auto loader. The dispersion isn't that bad, and the reload is spectacular. You can rain fire quickly in this thing. And that is where it's underestimated. Yes, you will be able to bounce shots, but watch this Etzer. He doesn't care about me. I'm an easy target, and he doesn't really care. And I am going to deplete his hit point pool all the way down until one of my teammates decides to take him out. Now, again, I'm on the front line, and again, that was not my game plan. My game plan was to be a second line of defense. I really thought my team was going for the hill. I was going to park my backside behind that rock and just try to pick off targets. I'm bouncing shots, but now I'm in the front line, and in fairness, I am an easy target. And my biggest concern is that Coventer, because he can really cause me a lot of pain. So I decided to change my game plan. I'm not going to push up. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to be a bit of a pain for these guys. I'm going to keep all 4 of those red targets on the brow of that hill. And hopefully my teammates will see that virtually every single red team, apart from one, is now up here. And they'll either flank left or right and come up behind them, or rain fire from the right-hand side and help me take them out. Now, I do think about getting trigger happy. Thankfully, the Pz.III puts me back in my place, because I'm thinking about, do I take out the 46? And no, it's a fool's errand. If I were to run up there and try and take out that 46, I'm going to be back in the garage, and I am no good to anybody. If I stay here, however, they all want to kill me, because they've seen that my hit points are down to 89. Now I'm down to 22. I'm an easy kill. But I'm just going to hold here. I'm going to reverse back, try to reset my camo, and then go forward again. Now my team are moving up. Happy days. We get a win. I don't get a kill on this, I don't think, but we had a good game. We did what we were meant to do, not what we intended to do. We didn't intend to be in that position, but we did what we had to do, and we adjusted our game plan accordingly. And we get a class 3 for our triples. We got the second amount of damage after the DW2. That is why this tank is underestimated, because its ability to dish out damage is not necessarily noticeable. And people who don't realize this tank has got awesome firepower will come unstuck and be back in the garage sooner than they expected. And they will wonder, how on earth did that Pz.II do that? But anyway, that's the last game. On to this game. We're back on Fort Despair. Yeah, I get a bit over anxious, a bit too aggressive, and I think, oh, I might as well go for that guy. Problem is, I'm now going to get hurt by the Sentinel. He's always going to hurt me. Now, I've done what I said I wasn't going to do. I put myself back on the front line. Yes, I've got hard cover around me, but I'm overexposed. I've got too aggressive. I'm getting hurt. My hit points are already down by 50%. Okay, I've got teammates around me, but I'm in a bit of a fix. I can still do power. Now I'm down to 77, and it looks like I'm going to the garage very, very quickly. Unless I screw my head back onto my shoulders and readjust my game plan accordingly, which is exactly what I'm now going to do. I am now going to find better cover. Oh, I got a lucky bounce there. I can see a Pz.IV, he's a bit exposed. Then he goes out of my sight. I don't think I managed to get some blind shots in. Now I'm going to get behind cover. I'm not going to expose myself unnecessarily now. I'm waiting for the Sentinel. He is going to reverse at some stage. He's going to want to take a shot at me. And he's side scraping off that rock, but not closing the angle for me, which allows me to take him out. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you got really lucky there. No, not necessarily. Now I'm only down to 19 hit points. I'm not able to get anything on the Panzer. I'm now really in trouble. Thankfully, somebody takes out the DW2. This allows me to readjust to take out the Panzer, which I do. I'm now down to 13 hit points. I've now got to be really careful. We are now controlling the game. We weren't a minute ago. We now are. The Pz.IV is cautious. The A20, however, isn't. He decides that he's going to make a break for it. I don't know if he was trying to go after the looks or make a break for better cover. Either way, he's now overly exposed. and I manage to set him on fire. Now, a lot of people say, yes, Fuji, you got really lucky there. Of course, you get a bit of luck in the game. And I managed to take him out. Now we've just got the Pz.III to contend with. I can side scrape and hold cover behind this dead tank, and I can aim for where his engine is and hopefully get a fire. And we do. Now he's in trouble. And we win. Okay, I got lucky. Yes, I did. I overexposed and became too aggressive to begin with. But we screwed our heads back on and came back. And we get a mastery for it. We did 962 damage, which is pretty good for this tier 3 tank. And we got rewarded with a mastery. But we did overexpose. We were too aggressive. And I did get very lucky, to be perfectly honest. But the main thing about this tank, as I said, the weaponry is underestimated. People think that because you're a small light tank dishing out only 40 odd damage per shell, you're an easy prey. You are not. The ability for you to cause pain on the enemy if you're in the right position, which is generally in the second line, not the front line, is actually unbelievable at this tier. And the enemy who underestimates the firepower of this little German light tank does so at its peril. Don't stick it on the front line, guys. Don't try and be a bruiser. It won't work. You will die. Use the tank as it's meant to be used. Find some good cover. Pop and shoot. You will have a whale of a time in it. It is actually a really nice tank once you know what it can and cannot do. And if you haven't been out in this tank for a long time, or you just haven't been out in it and you've just got it, go out there and just give it a go with that gun. You'll love it. Anyway, I've been Pz.III, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And until the next time, guys, have fun and happy tanking. I've been Pz.III, and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments. Tell me what can be improved and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.